All you can really do is laugh about this one because I kind of feel like the conversation was a little bit similar to last year, where Ohio State kind of struggled offensively in their first two games against Notre Dame and Arkansas State last year. And then we absolutely went and beat the brakes off of Toledo. Well, this year, kind of the same thing, right? Indiana, Youngstown State, the offense just wasn't quite there. It wasn't clicking at the pace that it should have. And, well, in this game, they answered the call. This offense answered the bell. I thought Kyle McCord really matured. A lot of guys had a great game, but I think this game made more of a statement about our defense than our offense, honestly. I'm going to dive into all of that here in just a moment, but first I want to say what's up, Tailgaters. My name is Tailgate Nate, or you're in the booth with Tailgate Nate. Welcome to my channel. This is my Ohio State fan reaction series. I am an Ohio State fan. I wear the scarlet and gray colors very, very proudly. And I'm going to be reacting to the third game here of the college football season for the Ohio State Buckeyes, the 63-10 win over the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers, the dominant performance and probably the top 10 team, or I should say probably the top 6 team, because you had Washington that looked really good, but one of the two top 10 teams that looked really, really good yesterday. So we're going to go ahead and dive on into it, break all this down, but hey, thank you guys so much for supporting this channel. Like, comment, subscribe. Do anything you can do, help support this channel. These are more like chillax videos. I just kind of go on here, talk. I don't edit these. I just kind of go. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and kind of dive on into it here. And we're going to start with the offense because obviously everyone is going to see that 63 points and say, okay, this Ohio State offense is back to form. And you know what? This game really saw the maturity of Kyle McCord, right? Kyle McCord was 19 of 23, had 318 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he just looked sharp. Yeah, there were a couple throws here and there again, but only 4 incompletions, had a QBR of 95.7. You can't really argue with that, right? That is just a phenomenal performance from Kyle McCord. Did see Devin Brown get into the game there as well, there towards the end in what everyone likes to call garbage time, but just kind of gets some of the younger guys reps there. But Kyle McCord looked really, really good. His wide receiver room looked really, really good. Found Marvin Harrison Jr. a couple of times there. 5 catches for 126 yards, 1 touchdown. Sorry, I'm thinking of Emeka Egbuka, who had 2 touchdowns, 4 catches, 57 yards. Cade Stover was good. Carnell Tate got his first touchdown as a Buckeye. Welcome to Columbus, Carnell Tate. He's going to be really, really good. Again, more of a depth piece in the wide receiver room this year, but absolutely going to be a great piece to this Buckeye receiver room moving forward. And then the run game was good as well. 33 carries, 204 yards, 6.2 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns, 2 of them courtesy of Travion Henderson, 1 of them on a 40-yard run by Chip Trayanum. This Buckeye offense absolutely exploded, and they were just overall really, really good in this game here against Western Kentucky. I was very impressed with the way that Kyle McCord was able to come along and the way that Kyle McCord was able to, I guess, develop. I think early on there were a couple of reads that he probably could have made a little bit better. But you know what? Throughout the game and just generally throughout the season, Kyle McCord has gotten a whole lot better, right? Again, wasn't necessarily all that sharp in the game against Youngstown State, although he did look a lot better than Devin Brown. Same thing with Indiana. You could kind of tell, like, hey, these are this kid's first 2 games here as a full-time starter, and he just needs some time really to settle in. You got your answer here. Kyle McCord is going to be the answer at quarterback for the Ohio State Buckeyes, and this is just a very talented skill position room. There's really no other way to say it. Was very impressed with what Marvin Harrison Jr. and the rest of these wide receivers were able to do. I've also been very impressed with this run game as well. Mayan Williams only had 5 carries for 23 yards, so it does seem like Travion Henderson is back to kind of being that feature back for the Ohio State Buckeyes. I believe Mayan Williams was that leading rusher last year. Buckeye fans, you can correct me on that if I am wrong. Again, was kind of a weird thing last year because Travion would be hurt one week and Mayan Williams would play, and then the next week Mayan Williams would be hurt, and then Travion would play. It was a whole weird back and forth with the Ohio State running back room last year, but both of them are healthy. And then when you have a guy like Chip Trayanum running like he is, I mean, that's going to be a huge boost to this running back room as well. This is a loaded running back room, and they performed really, really well here. The Buckeyes only had, I believe, 1 turnover, and it was kind of, or no, they had 2 turnovers because there was a fumble lost earlier in the game there that gave Western Kentucky the ball. Ended up going down and scoring a field goal on that drive, did the Hilltoppers, but then Devin Brown threw an interception, and again, I use quotes, garbage time. So overall, you got to be really happy with the way that the offense played. I mean, I know I am. I know that there are going to be some Ohio State fans out there that say, wow, we finally look dominant. This is great. This is good momentum for the Notre Dame game. And I do definitely agree with that. But like I told Buckeye Nation in my first 2 videos here, you guys got to give this offense some time, right? You had to do it last year. You had to do it 2 years ago, both of which C.J. Stroud was quarterbacking that offense. It was going to take some time for Kyle McCord to really get into his flow, get into his rhythm. And this offense is just too talented to not have an absolute explosion in at least one game this year, much like they did today. Final offensive stats, 24 first downs. We were a lot better on third down. Still not as great as I would like to see Ohio State be on third down. We were 5 for 10, so there is that 50% mark. But again, the way this game was flowing, just continue to get better on third downs. 562 yards of total offense, 358 of those through the air, of course. I believe 318 of them, my apologies, courtesy of Kyle McCord. Again, 204 rushing yards, only 5 penalties for 40 yards. You know what? Actually, I say only 5 penalties for 40 yards. Discipline is another big thing that this offense and even this defense can work on there as well. I'm going to get to the defense in a little bit because I got a lot more to say about the defense than I do the offense. So get better on third downs, offense, clean up those penalties, because again, you got a really, really big game next week here against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. We'll be previewing that one here a little bit. I'm going to have a preview prediction video up for that one here later on Monday. So watch out for that one. But let's go ahead and talk about this Ohio State defense now. This was by far going to be the biggest test that Ohio State's defense had seen throughout the course of the year because Indiana, not really that high octane of an offense. Again, they kind of like to run that RPO style. There were a lot of option plays that Indiana ran. That's not a team that was going to throw the ball. Ohio State defended that really, really well. Youngstown State, that is an FCS level team, just a lower division, nowhere near the talent level of Ohio State. So really able to shut that down there as well. But this is the Western Kentucky team, guys, that over the past 2 years, when you take a look at Bailey, or even beyond that as well, with Bailey Zappi, Austin Reed there at quarterback. I mean, those are 2 guys that have just electrified this Western Kentucky offense, electrified the college football scene. Austin Reed was the leader in passing yards across the entire nation last year. You had a really, really good wide receiver there in Malachi Corley, and just a whole lot of other weapons that this Western Kentucky offense had. And you know what? It wasn't pretty at first. It took this Buckeye defense a little bit of time to settle in. Western Kentucky was really able to hit those throws early on there in that first half. But guys, this Buckeye defense ended up locking it down. This was just a phenomenal performance. When you hold one of the most dynamic offenses across the entire nation, because I truly believe that that is what Western Kentucky is, they did have 15 first downs, but only 284 yards, 204 of those through the pass. We forced Austin Reed to throw 2 picks, also recovered 2 fumbles. By the way, one of those picks ended up being returned for a pick 6. I'm going to find the name here. Jermaine Matthews. Good job, Jermaine. Good job on the pick 6. I'll get you 2 Buckeyes that recovered fumbles as well. It was Tyleek Williams and Davison Igbinosun. And then the other guy with the interception there as well was Steele Chambers. So overall, very, very happy with the way this defense played. We'll continue on with some stats here. Only allowed Western Kentucky to convert 3 out of 15 third down opportunities. That is fantastic. That is really, really good. Especially for as high octane as this Western Kentucky offense is. Again, limited Austin Reed to only 204 yards. He was only 22 of 39, so this Buckeye defense, again, it took a little time for them to settle in. Austin Reed definitely wasn't on his best game either, but the Buckeye secondary was able to clamp down on that and perform really, really well as well. Again, forcing those 4 turnovers. This rush defense continues to impress. 33 carries, only 80 yards for the Western Kentucky offense there. That's 2.4 yards per carry. So, guys, this, honestly, I've been very impressed with the way this Buckeye defense has played. I think you can consider this Buckeye defense to be one of the best defenses across the entire country. I really do truly believe that Ohio State has what it takes. Now, I know that there are people around Buckeye Nation that right now want some more production from the defensive ends, right? They want more production from guys like JTT, Jack Sawyer, and we ended up seeing some defensive end production once kind of those backups that came in there, but Jack Sawyer only had 3 tackles. Just looking around here, JTT only had 1 tackle. Those guys were basically non-factors. Now, while it didn't matter, while the rest of the defense played really, really well, this is the Buckeye team that had 8 tackles for loss, 6 passes defended, 2 sacks. Just really, really good stuff. Let's see, there was a fumble touchdown. Again, that's Tyleik Williams recovering the fumble in the end zone. I did forget to mention that. Then again, late in the game, you had Jermaine Matthews' 58-yard pick six as well. Guys, this defense has come along very, very nicely. It has taken that next step here under Jim Knowles, and it is playing here really, really well. Let me crunch some numbers here really quick, and I'll tell you guys kind of what this team is averaging here. Oh, whoops. Give me 1 minute here. 6.6 points per game. That's all the Buckeye defense is averaging right now. Just playing really, really good fundamental defensive football. They're doing a great job at limiting those big plays. They are only allowing 223.7 yards per game, while the offense is generating almost 475 yards per game. So, guys, this is an offense that has come around. Kyle McCord has played really, really well as of late, especially in this game here against Western Kentucky. Wide receivers look good. Running back room looks good. The secondary really did get tested, and it was up to the task. And I want to call out one player specifically. There are a lot of guys on the secondary that have played really, really good ball. Josh Proctor, Davison Igbanos, and the Ole Miss transfer. Both those guys have played really, really well. But how about the full-on 360 that Denzel Burke has done this year? Denzel Burke just looks fantastic. He looks like one of the best secondary players that the nation has to offer. He looks phenomenal. He looks really, really good. He is great on the ball. I think he has a couple pass interference penalties against him this year. That's going to happen when you play as aggressive of pass defense as you will in the Jim Knowles system. But guys, I've been super impressed. You want to talk about someone who's really impressed me on the defensive side? Denzel Burke. He's just really come alive, really come on. I'm really, really stoked at the way that Denzel Burke is playing the game of football right now, guys. I love the way that Denzel Burke has played. He just looks phenomenal. I really don't have much more to say about it. He looks phenomenal. He looks so much better than he did last year. Really, really stoked with the way that Denzel Burke has been playing. Overall, again, I've said it before. I'll probably say it again here. Really impressed with the way that the offense looked here. And everything looks good. The defense got its first true test here against the high-octane, high-flying Western Kentucky offense, and they were up to the task. So let me talk about this Notre Dame game coming up here before I talk about that, what are some things that can still improve on this Ohio State defense? Again, you're starting to get really nitpicky here, but not with these two things. One, improve on third downs. This is still a team that I'm not super confident. I don't have the exact stats in front of me here, but they went 50% on third downs here. I don't know if they're 50% on third downs this season when they kind of have all reason to be. A lot of their third downs have been third down and short, and you really got to get on top of that here. So if you are the Ohio State Buckeyes, guys, improve on those third downs, right? Get better on third down and then clean up penalties. It got a little bit better in this game against Western Kentucky, but clean them up more. Really hone in on discipline, because this next game here on the road against Notre Dame, guys, it's going to be a top 10 matchup. College Game Day is going to be there. Primetime game on NBC in South Bend. You really can't ask for a better time slot and a better place for a college football game here. Currently, as it stands, actually the new AP poll literally just came out as I recorded this, or as I am recording this video. Let's see, Ohio State has stayed at number 6, and Notre Dame has stayed at number 9. So there you have it, number 6 versus number 9 there in South Bend. I mean, it's going to be an electric atmosphere. That is for sure. Currently, FPI gives Ohio State a 66% chance to win. And currently, I'll look for a line here on this game. I do not have one in front of me, but this is an Ohio State-Notre Dame game that's going to be the talk of the college football world and an absolutely loaded Week 4 slate, but that's definitely going to be by far the best game. Things to improve on going into that Notre Dame game and things that are probably going to have to happen. Again, I'm not going to preview it too much. I am going to have a preview prediction video for Ohio State-Notre Dame up on my channel on Monday, or I guess tomorrow, so you can go watch that one. But Ohio State's defensive ends need to get a little bit more production there. Ohio State needs to be a little bit more disciplined. And this is the team that you have to convert those third down and short opportunities. You can't really have any third down and longs. This is an Ohio State team that has been pretty aggressive. It has gone for it on fourth down more often than not. Yeah, so guys, that's kind of all I have here for you. Again, this was, again, maybe not as in-depth as some of my other reactions. I got pretty busy yesterday. I had to ended up watching this game off and on. Watched most of it. Kind of had to turn it off there towards the end. Just got super busy. But this was a phenomenal performance overall from the Ohio State Buckeyes. Went back, watched highlights after, I guess I went back and rewatched what I didn't watch live. Went back and rewatched it there on film. And overall, guys, this team just looks great. This team looks like it's ready to roll. My apologies. It gained some momentum before we ended up entering this Notre Dame game. And this is an Ohio State team that, guys, I honestly think is ready to kind of light the world on fire here. That's going to be a phenomenal game. Again, I'm not going to give my prediction here. It's a very winnable game for both teams. It's going to be a hard-fought game. I'll predict that one more on Monday. Later on today, you can expect my Week 3 takeaways video. That is going to be coming out. Again, I talk more than just Ohio State football on this channel. I talk all things college football. So, hey, guys, continue to help support the channel in whatever way you can. I know this video is a little bit shorter than others. It was maybe a little bit more general, but I'm just getting really excited for that Notre Dame game there this upcoming Saturday. So, again, continue to support the channel any way you can. Remember to play hard, but tailgate harder. Buckeyes beat the Hilltoppers 63-10. Really good defensive test here for this team. Build some momentum before Notre Dame. The offense came alive. Just got to clean up some of the little things. I'll see all you guys later on tonight. Again, Week 3 takeaways will come out tonight. Goodbye.